welcome back to my channel. My name is Q. I live in Texas, no longer a teacher. Okay, first thing I want to tell you guys is that, if you haven't watched my video about me quitting teaching, you should definitely go watch that video. I talked about how I was going through the interview process and that I plan to quit right after Christmas break. That all happened. I am still happy that I quit. Not so much that I quit in the middle of the year. I had to do what I had to do, but I did find out the consequences. So in December, when I resigned, I was told to reach out to someone in my district about resigning. And so I reached out to that person. That man let me know if I quit, there could be some consequences, but he let me know like, hey, you told me your last day is going to be December 30th. If you quit and they don't have someone to cover your position by January 3rd, 4th, 5th, I can't remember the day. If you don't have someone to cover your position, it looks like you've abandoned your contract. And at that point, they're going to take that to the board meeting on January 9th, and they'll vote and say whether you left for a good cause. So I just got word that they decided, it was a unanimous vote, so forget them, but they all decided that I didn't leave for a good cause. So basically they're gonna take it to the state to try to hold my certification, and I was told that they can hold it for 1 year, and that 1 year doesn't start right now. It actually is gonna start, the guy told me that it could take a couple months for them to go through the whole process with the state. So I could possibly have to wait until like May of 2024 to get my certification back. But honestly, I'm not even mad. They can have it because I don't plan on going back into teaching for a while if I decide to go back. So just want to let y'all know that is a consequence of breaking your contract in the middle of the year. Your district, your state may have different rules. Those are just the rules that my district has, so it's whatever. I just feel like it's really weird that they would punish you in a way like that, especially at a time like this, whenever we're in like such a dire need of teachers and there's so many people quitting. Like, I could understand if you told me like you're not rehireable, or you can't work in this district again, or maybe not even in this state, but you basically just took away my certification. So like, even if I wanted to come back, I couldn't. And of course, in the meantime, I'm going to find something else to do. So anyways, I said all that to say, I'm not teaching right now. I got a new job, which I've already told you guys, but let me tell you a little bit about the interview process. So the interview process was okay. I even interviewed, I guess maybe I should talk about the application process. So I look for jobs that were in a certain little box. So I look for jobs on Indeed, I looked for jobs on LinkedIn, and I looked at a bunch of city job websites. So like, I just thought of a bunch of cities in my area, and I went to City of Dallas jobs. Like, I just typed those kind of things into Google to try to find some different jobs that I could possibly do. And my goal is to be able to get a job in project management, product management, something like that. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to find something because, of course, everybody wants someone with experience doing that job. And because my last job was working as an educator, it's gonna take a while for me to be able to prove that I can do something other than playing with kids. So I noticed that a lot of the jobs look for people to have some kind of administrative assistant work, some clerical work, some data entry work. So I started looking for jobs that match those. My end goal is to get into project management, because ultimately I feel like teachers, we have so many tabs open in our brains. We're handling like 20, 30 kids at a time. We're having to deal with meetings, emails, like all these different things at one time, and you have to be good at managing your products and your projects. So I feel like I'd be a good fit for that, but I have to prove it. So I found a job that's not administrative assistant. It's not, I got a job working for a payroll company, and I'm basically doing like data entry. So with that being said, I do want to go ahead and like give full transparency. I did take a pay cut and I knew that when I went into it. But like I said, I'm trying to get some experience so that I can get into project management. So one of the things that I made sure to ask whenever I was in the interview, I try not to do it in a way that made it seem like, yeah, I'll take this job, but really I want that one. What I did was, at the end of my interview, when I was talking to the recruiter, she asked if I had any questions. And I just asked her, I'm like, hey, I just want to let you know I'm a lifelong learner and I'm always looking for opportunities to grow. And also, let me go ahead and mention this too. I did tell her that that was why I was leaving teaching. I let her know, like, I was looking for an opportunity to grow and I didn't see one being a classroom teacher, because I felt like, you're either a classroom teacher or, you'd have to go back to school. But there wasn't really a big raise and it wasn't really a big change in your position. So that's why I was looking for a job. So basically, let me get back to the story. I told her, or I asked her, I said, what opportunities are available, in this field with this company? Like, cause I'm looking for opportunities where I can grow. I want to find a company where I can really, plant some roots and, really find a lifelong career. But I want a place where I can go up. I don't want to stay still at the bottom or stay still in the middle or still at the top. I need to find somewhere where I can grow. And I just opened up a whole conversation where she just let me know, like, hey, our company is really growing really fast and we're always looking for people to transition, and all you've got to do is prove yourself, be a humble, hungry, and smart worker, and the opportunities will come to you. And so yes, I took a pay cut, but honestly, I feel like I'm getting so much back because I'm getting experience and it's gonna look really nice and shiny on my resume. I did want to kind of plug something really quickly. So my husband is actually in the tech field, and shout out to him for actually giving me the push to be able to try to apply to some jobs in the tech field. I'm gonna put a link in the description bar for you guys to go check out some of his videos. He's really breaking it down for everybody, and he's letting everybody know how you can get into the tech field and making buku money for a little bit. Okay, so yes, he is a completely different person. Like, he was not a teacher. He actually was in the medical field too. He was in the pharmacy area, and then he transitioned to do some other things and then landed a job in the tech field with no experience, and he went through a program. So if you're interested in trying to get into something like that, definitely check it out. I'm actually taking one of the project management courses through one of the routes that he mentioned, and it's completely free. So definitely recommend that y'all go check that out because it's worth listening to. Okay, so let me go ahead and talk about some of the pros that I have for this job. So is the work-life balance. So like I said, I'm working for a payroll company, and as a teacher, I would go to work, I would do my job, I'd have a stack of emails waiting for me when I finished teaching at the end of the day. I'd have lesson plans that need to be done, papers that need to be graded, IEPs that I need to go over. I got meetings, ARD meetings, 504 meetings, staff meetings, birthdays for staff, birthdays for kids. There's so much stuff outside of just teaching in the classroom that whenever you're done, your job isn't done. So when I got home, I had all those things on my mind, all those things on my to-do list. But what I'm doing now, they encourage you to leave your work at work. They don't want you to take it home. We use Teams, we use Outlook, but they tell you you do not need to log in. I even asked my team lead when I got hired, I was like, am I expected to answer these emails, respond to the team messages whenever I'm off? And she said no. She said she's expected to, but I'm not expected to. And when I tell you, that sounded like the best thing ever. And it sounds so simple. To somebody who's never worked in teaching, that sounds like the most absurd thing. Like, girl, you happy because you don't have to? Yes. Because if you've ever worked in education, you're expected to be checking on this stuff. You're supposed to be working around the clock, even though they tell you not to. Another pro is less stress, which kind of ties back into the work-life balance. I just feel like because I get to go home and I get to shut it down at 5 o'clock, I don't have to worry about my next day. Like, I don't think about what I'm gonna do the next day. I don't think about my coworkers around me, because right now I'm not invested in my coworkers because I'm really just there to get some experience. I'm not rude, I'm not standoffish. I'm just really there to collect my money, get my experience, and go home. So all that stress that was tied to working as a teacher, I don't have it at this job right now, okay? I've only been working at my current job for 2 weeks. This is week 3. So of course things could change, but right now I have a growth mindset, okay? That is one thing that all teachers have, taught and talked about. I have a growth mindset with this job. All right, the next thing that I feel is a pro for this job is there are a lot of perks. And I kind of mentioned those in one of my other videos when I talked about getting the job. And just to name a few, they give you so many more days for PTO. Whenever I decide to start a family, well, not start a family because me and Trey, we're already family. But whenever I decide to, we try to expand our family, they give you 12 weeks of paid maternity leave after you've worked for the company for 1 year. And that sounds amazing. Another perk is that they cater meals to the cafeteria for lunch every day. So you don't have to worry about leaving campus if you don't want to. You don't have to worry about bringing lunch if you don't want to. Another good thing is they bring the lunch. Of course, you have to pay for it, but all the fountain drinks are free. The coffee machine is free. They have a cappuccino, hot chocolate, all that stuff free. I talked about this too. The benefits on this job are absolutely amazing. I only pay $1 a month for my medical insurance. As a teacher, your check gets devoured by insurance, especially if you have a family. So I'm only paying $1 for medical insurance. And of course I'm paying a little extra for dental, but it's only $30. And the rest of it, at the end of it, all of that ended up being $45 per check, which is amazing because like I said, I did take a pay cut. Pro for this job is that I get to go to the restroom whenever I want. Okay, I don't need to go ask someone to watch my class. I don't need to ask somebody to stay in my spot. I don't need to ask if I can get up. I can get up and go to the bathroom whenever I want, and I love it. Okay. Another thing that I love about this job is there's less micromanagement. Of course, I am still working a job. They do have metrics for you to meet, but my team lead is absolutely amazing. She does not stand over your shoulder and make sure you're doing what you're supposed to. She's really hands off, but she steps in when she needs to. She'll allow us to have our earbuds in and listen to music while we're working. She allows us to have our phone out. She just feels like the best thing that I could have ever, or the best person that I could have imagined to have as a team lead, because she understands that this job needs to be done. It can be stressful. I need you to be your best self while you're doing it. And honestly, I can't ask for a better situation, a better thing to get into after being in such a micromanaged career. I get an hour lunch, okay? And it's my choice. Okay, the hour lunch is built in, so I can decide to take a 30-minute lunch if I want to. I can decide to work through lunch if I want to. I can do what I want to. And again, that goes back to the micromanaging. Nobody's telling me when I can go, which kudos to my team lead, because she's the one who basically put that in place. I can go anywhere between 11 and 2. And I can do it however I want to, as long as I'm doing what I'm supposed to when I'm actually on the clock. Absolutely love that. The next thing, which also ties into that, is that there is overtime galore. Okay, because I'm taking a pay cut, it's absolutely amazing to me to know they have overtime for you. So if I want to, I can stay late, I can come early, I can work through lunch, and that would really help me make up the money that I'm missing from teaching. They also have like a little marketplace for snacks. So like during your break time, let's say you want to get up and walk around, but you're a little hungry, they have like a full snack station with everything you can think of: chips, drinks. They have donuts, they got breakfast, they got frozen food. Like they literally have everything you need and anything you can think of, so that you don't have to leave campus, so that you can, like, let's say you had an emergency the night before you had to go to work. You get to work and you're like, crap, I forgot my lunch. You don't want to eat the food that they had catered, because maybe they're having sub sandwiches and a salad and you really don't want that. But they have like some frozen pasta, they have frozen breakfast, they have all kind of stuff. So it's like something for everybody. And they even think to include some meals for people who are vegetarian, vegan, gluten-free. So like, you don't have an excuse, okay? And honestly, I'm just like, y'all thought about me. I love it. Let's talk about some of the cons, okay? Because they are there, and I want to be transparent and just let you know what the cons are, because I'm left teaching because of the stress. But let me tell you some of the things that haven't been so positive and so happy, since I left. So here's my list. One reality that you do need to realize is that you may have to take a pay cut, which is definitely what I did. And I'm not going to tell you how much. I'm just really thankful that I'm in this space to be able to take a pay cut, because my husband is actually in the tech field. So he's in tech sales. He's doing a really, really great job right now in his field, and so I'm able to take a pay cut while he makes the big money in the tech field, doing all those things. Yeah, so I took a pay cut. So just know you may have to take a pay cut. And if you're going to take a pay cut, here's what I say would be a good thing to do. So if you decide you want to get out of teaching, quit at the end of the school year while you still get a check, okay? Because if I would have done that, I would have got a check June, July, August. So that would have been 3 months of a check, and I could have worked somewhere to get some experience. And some places will allow you to move up and transition after 3 months. So if I would have done that, I probably would be farther along in the company. But of course, things didn't work out that way, because I had COVID the first week of the summer. I had surgery in July. It just didn't work out. So if you're going to quit, try to quit in the summer, because you don't want all the consequences of losing your certificate and just going through all this stuff in the middle of the year. Another con is that my start time for work is later. Well, the start time being later is actually a pro, because then I get to sleep in later. I can do all the things I want to do a little bit later. I can work out in the morning, do a little bit of walking, enjoy my morning. But because I start late, that means I get off late. So traffic is a little more heavy. The sun goes down faster than it normally would. So those are some cons. The paid holidays. So like as a teacher, you get every holiday, okay? It's January. I did not get Martin Luther King Day off. And I just didn't realize how sad I was going to be that I didn't get it until everybody around me was off but me. So that's definitely a con. We only get like 7 paid holidays, like New Year's, Memorial Day, Independence Day, Labor Day, Thanksgiving, Christmas. I'm missing, New Year's. So we only get 7 paid holidays off. So, that's something to think about. And then the final con is the travel, okay? Because I'm in corporate America, all the good jobs are close to Dallas. I don't live in Dallas, I actually live in Fort Worth, and you have to get through the traffic to get to Dallas, okay? And if you live in Fort Worth, you know that people in Dallas drive like they got a lead foot, okay? These people are in a rush. I mean, honestly, it just gets on my nerves. And everybody's on their way to the high-paying jobs near Dallas, so there's always so much traffic. So, and it's not that I didn't, you know, have some traffic on my way as a teacher. It's just that this is a lot more traffic because when I was a teacher, I was going away from Dallas. Now I'm going towards Dallas. So I'm having to fight all the traffic. That's all I'm going to be sharing in this video. I hope you guys really appreciate it. Hope you find inspiration. If you have any questions, leave them down below. Don't forget to go and watch my husband's videos, especially if you're trying to get into tech, because that is what a lot of people are doing right now. They are going from education or medical or whatever over to tech. Now, if you want to get into tech, go watch those videos because they're really informative. And I'll catch y'all in the next one. Bye.